All right, welcome back to Padlet PD. We're going to move on with this. We've got ourselves logged in. Now we're ready to start creating some stuff. So up in the upper right-hand corner, you have two options. You've got join a Padlet. Somebody could give you a code or a link, and you can join a Padlet that way. We're going to make a Padlet today, though. So we're going to click this pink Make a Padlet button. You've got some options in here to choose from. And if you want to think of this in terms of a classroom, this first option is just a wall, and it's like giving kids Post-it notes and saying, hey, write down your answers, go stick them on the wall. That's exactly what's going to happen with this wall one. It's going to be a little cluttered, a little unorganized. Things are going to move around and pop into it and pop around. But it's a great way to get started. There's a stream, which is kind of like social media. So if you're familiar with Twitter or Facebook, it's just going to have things flowing down the middle of your screen. You can set it so it's either oldest on top or newest on top as well. You can do it either way. There's a grid, which is similar to the wall, but it's going to pop into a little bit more organized fashion. So things are going to be lined up a little bit nicer, a little bit easier to read maybe. The last option that I use a lot of is the shelf. And you can see at the top, you've got categories. That's what those three smaller boxes are. So as the creator, you're going to create categories, and then whoever's using your Padlet is going to put their answers into different categories. So they're still using these sticky notes, Post-it notes to put it on the wall, but they're going to put them into categories. So if you think of a KWL, that's how you turn this into a digital KWL thing. I haven't done a lot with map, canvas, or timeline. Very straightforward though, and you can definitely pick one of those. So I'm just going to stick with the wall for now, and we'll go with that. And it's going to take a second to get up and running, but then it's going to give you what your Padlet actually looks like and what the students will see when they're using it. So all the stuff on the left, this is what the students will see. All the stuff on the right, you're going to see, and you're going to make some changes there. The first thing you can see is it gives you a title, and it says My Sumptuous Padlet. Strange title. They have great adjectives in there. I'm going to call this Padlet PD 2022. And if you can see as I'm typing on the right, it's going to put it on the left too, so it's automatically updating what you have in your title and your description. So I'm going to add a description here too. All the things we can do with Padlet. All right, so there's my description. You can notice on the left, it's going to pop it in there as I'm typing too. You can change the icon. So you can add a little icon to this, and you'll notice when I choose one of these, it'll pop into the left-hand side next to the title. So I'm just going to choose that little smiley face. That's going to pop in there. At the bottom, it says add your own, so you can upload your own icons or your own little images to add to that as well. One thing that I thought was super confusing for me, there's an arrow button. So once you choose something, you have to click the arrow button to get back to that last screen. And if you notice over here, there is, there is my smiley face that I added to that. You can also change the address for your Padlet too. I don't mess around with that very often, but you can make it something a little bit easier if you want it for your students. I'm just going to call it PD 2022. You can leave that blank though. You don't have to use it that way. It's going to be unique though because it's linked to your account first. So whatever you put there, as long as you personally haven't used it before, it's going to work. You can change your wallpaper. And again, you've got to add your own wallpaper down at the bottom too, so you can add your own. I'm doing it that way. I'm going to make this look like an actual wall for us. And then click that arrow to get back to the regular screen again. And then that arrow one more time to get back to that. There's a color scheme. You can choose a dark theme or a light theme either way. You can change the fonts around. These are important to me. Attribution, I like to know who's posting what. So I always have a spot for their authors to put their names on there. And then I can hold some accountability for what they're posting and credit for seeing that they've done it as well. New post position, you can have it choose it first or last. So if you want newest stuff on top, that's the way I like it, just so I can glance really quickly and see what the new things are, especially if I'm using it with more than one class, because I want the last class to be on top. You can add comments, so kids can comment on each other. You can add reactions. They can upvote, downvote. I like to just do hearts or stars so that they can just be nice to each other and they don't really need a thumbs down for it. You can require approval, filter profanity, all those things too. Click that next button and you're all set to go. That's how you get it going.